All right, so that first conversation should give you some perspective as to how the head of research of a very large fund house is thinking about the equity markets, is thinking about investment strategy, and this ultimately governs how the fund manager is looking at investing your money. But the second leg of this conversation, today's show, deals with a category of mutual fund schemes that a lot of people gravitate to save tax, and that's ELSS. The thing about it is that after the budget and the changes that were announced in the tax regime starting 1st of April, a lot of this is going to go out of the window. So the question is, that last minute tax saving when you put money into ELSS, should you still do it? We're still about 10 days away from the end of the financial year. And should you invest in ELSS next year as well? Kshitiz Mahajan, Managing Partner and Chief Executive Officer of Complete Circle Wealth Solutions, is joining me right now. Kshitiz, as always, thanks so much for joining in. And let me ask you this. In your opinion, should people still consider ELSS as an option?
So, hi Alex, always a pleasure to be with you and too much to learn from this platform. I can tell you one thing, that for this year, we are still with the old regime in terms of there's no tax benefit which has been announced in the budget. So you can still look at picking up ELSS, because right now ELSS not only will give you a tax advantage as well as give you market participation at a discount of 16-17%. So it's a win-win allocation as far as ELSS is concerned. So one can actually look at participating more and maybe as per the tax bracket of 1.5 lakh. We have 10 more days to go in this year. For this financial year for sure. Yeah. So
okay.
For next, yeah.
For next year, why don't you talk about next year now?
Yeah. So I was coming to that. So yes, the reason for what people used to invest in ELSS. So we have two set of people. One is for sure for tax saving purpose. You get that ATC 1,50,000 benefit, and you take back that benefit home with equity participation and less locking. No other instrument for tax saving purpose has only 3-year locking, only ELSS. Second, the reason is very different. So for that reason, I don't see that this category will see inflows coming its way, because as per the new tax regime rules, everybody will like to go toward that rule side only, and the benefits are much more there only. So, but there is another behavioral aspect for which one should look at participating into ELSS, and that is that people who are volatile in their thought process, who can't take sudden jump in the markets or some losses in the market, and who don't have that patience level on their side, and I've been candid about that. I think ELSS is a tool which is on the behavioral side, will help you to carve out a good portfolio for yourself. And that is why I still feel that there's a lot of juice this category will still have on its side, unless until the benefit of the locking will go away. Otherwise, you should have this fund where you see the volatility is playing on your mind.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. For those people that are, disciplined in their investing and they want more flexibility, then would you say that these people can look at flexi caps as an alternative, because ultimately there's quite a bit of overlap, isn't there, between ELSS and flexi cap?
100%. I think many managers would like to run a dummy portfolio where they have a flexi portfolio, and they like to run almost 60-70% dummy portfolio on the ELSS side. People who are much more disciplined and they are looking at a long-term proposition in investing into mutual fund, then they can look at actually for their further allocation participating in a flexi-cap portfolio, and that too going further, as we were discussing before the interview, flexi-cap which are more large cap-ish oriented for this year for sure. So I think that should be kept in mind while selecting a flexi-cap also.
Okay. In your opinion, and I think I quite appreciate the point that you made on the fact that equities have gone through a correction. If you're deploying now, it might be a great idea for 3 years. So point well made. But if you're talking about the performance of ELSS, which schemes stand out to you and why?
So I will not like to say that I like this or that. I'm saying it solves the purpose of tax saving and it drives the behavior. Many people have come to mutual fund side of the investing side because of one tax saving part also. Because we've been seeing in our firm also so many KYC happen, because for first time investors they are doing a tax saver, to start their KYC process. So I think most important point is it drives a discipline it keeps your money locked in, and it allows you to grow money over a period of time. Having said that, I would like to mention here, many people still think that ELSS, maybe it's a locking product, maybe the performance is not that good. But most of the good ELSS, or let's say across average returns, are in line with your large cap and flexi-cap funds. In fact, Alex, there are two funds, the ELSS fund. One is Franklin ELSS Tech Saver, other is HDFC ELSS Tech Saver. Both the funds have now more than 1,000. That means we keep on asking about 100 bagger stock idea. Here, there's a Tech Saver fund who has given return money more than 100 times. So NAV of is around 1272 and Franklin is around 1370. This is after the correction. I'm sure the NAV would have been much different. So I think the funds have been run in the right spirit, and there is no as such paper, but I'm just giving an example of two funds where there's a clear cut 100 bagger return on the Tech Saver side.
Yeah, and interesting chat. Kshitiz, thanks so much for joining in, for giving us that perspective. I think a call to action is definitely there. Investors can go ahead if they have the old tax regime still and look at ELSS. Thanks as always for taking the time.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to the end of this edition of Your Money Matters. It's been an interesting chat for me, two chats. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and do stay tuned. Lots more coming up on NDTV Profit.